Welcome back everybody to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. In today's video, I want to share with you some wild news involving Bitcoin, involving Chainlink, involving Ethereum and Polygon, as well as lower cap altcoins and much more. If you're interested in making money with cryptocurrency, click subscribe. We drop a video every single day demystifying this cryptocurrency market. Let's jump in. The first piece of news involves Bitcoin. 7x April's all-time high, Bitcoin's transactional volume has reached over $7 billion in a week. So this volume that we're seeing is 7 times greater than it was when we made the all-time high back in April during the previous peak, and big transactions make most of it. That's according to the data, and it's telling us two things. First off, us being at 65k Bitcoin now versus when we touched it back in April, we have way more volume happening right now, which is a very healthy sign. And the data shows that it's not retail, but it's big money taking out positions. Let me show you. This is from research firm Into the Block, now points out a staggering difference between how much buying and who's buying now versus back in April. The company notes that big money is buying, that most of the volume came from transactions that were worth over $100,000 per transaction, so obviously big money, and we can tell that they're taking out positions by tracking the addresses that have held Bitcoin for less than 30 days, so new entities presumably. We can measure new money flowing into the market. And for perspective, from January to April of this year, Bitcoin saw a massive surge in short-term interest by retail traders. In this new all-time high, the number of retail traders has decreased by over 39%. And what does this tell us? It tells us that retail's not here yet we're back at all-time highs, we're creating new all-time highs, and it's institutional money, or at least large net worth individuals, are the ones accumulating right now, at least at the moment. Also, right off the bat, it shows us that there's no serious signs of retail investors flocking to this market yet. This means that there's no FOMO yet, something that usually happens when the cycle is closer to its top. The market is also not so over-leveraged as it was back then. So even though the price is back to where we were in April, we've actually passed it, we've created new all-time highs, the price action and who's accumulating is very different. Give me your thoughts on this down below in the comment section, something to think about. Let's keep moving. Before we get to Chainlink and Polygon news, I want to play you this clip. This is Paul Tudor Jones, heavily respected in traditional finance, in the traditional world, became a Bitcoin bull about 12-18 months ago. Is Bitcoin still a hedge, still a buy at these levels? What does Paul think? And now that we have a Bitcoin futures ETF, what's the better investment? Buying actual Bitcoin or investing in the futures ETF? Two questions, watch this.
One of the things you've talked about it, I want to say about 18 months ago on our air, probably March, maybe right when the pandemic was hitting, was your interest in Bitcoin. As a hedge.
Bitcoin would be a great hedge.
As an inflation hedge.
Crypto will be a great inflation hedge.
Is it still a hedge at these prices?
Listen, I said then, I said now, I've got crypto in single digits in my portfolio. I have a small trading position in our fund. I do think we're moving into an increasingly digitized world. Clearly, there's a place for crypto. And clearly, it's winning the race against gold at the moment, right? So yes, I would think that would also be a very good inflation hedge. It would be my preferred one over gold at the moment.
Paul, on that note, you saw that Bitcoin ETF that started trading yesterday, the one based on Bitcoin futures. There were a lot of seasoned investors who said, that could be an issue. They like Bitcoin, the underlying issue, quite a bit better than the ETF because they worry that in times of trouble that the ETF would trade at a steep discount to what you'd see to actually the underlying issue. What would you say to that, just to investors who are thinking, okay, I want to get into Bitcoin, how do I do it?
I think a better way to get in would be to actually own physical Bitcoin, to take the time to learn how to own it and carry it. I think the ETF will be fine.
All right. Very interesting perspective. Like it, support it, and do not take for granted that institutions are here right now and they're accumulating. Next up, let's talk about altcoins. The Associated Press has just tapped Chainlink to provide untamperable news data. So they have officially partnered with Chainlink, and they're hoping Chainlink is able to provide verifiable news data in this age of misinformation. Let's talk about just how big this is. The Associated Press, a collective of more than 1,300 newspapers and broadcasters, is moving further into decentralized news and publishing. Today it announced a partnership with Chainlink Labs, and the AP is also now launching its own Chainlink node. Wow. So the Associated Press was actually already using blockchain, but now that they're integrated with Chainlink, what are the details? Starting November 2nd, AP says it will use Chainlink to automate actions that happen on-chain, including informing the over 15,000 outlets that use the AP's platform of election results, sports outcomes, or when a company's quarterly financials are released. All of that will now be cryptographically signed to verify the data actually comes from the Associated Press. So if you're invested in Chainlink, if you like Chainlink, you like this. And just for some context for AP, it was actually since 2020 that the AP has used blockchain to publish so-called tamper-proof news. The AP partnered with Everpedia, a blockchain company that I believe used to be on EOS, that runs a decentralized encyclopedia to provide verifiable election results in an era of misinformation. So they first used Everpedia, which was on EOS, and now they're using Chainlink, which is on Ethereum/multi-chain. And by the way, just because information is on the blockchain doesn't make it true. It can still be misinformation. And that's why I liked this direct quote from the Associated Press. Anything can be published to the blockchain, but I think it makes a substantial difference when developers see the data coming from a source like the AP, which has been in the business for 175 years. The reason they chose Chainlink, the AP says it chose Chainlink because it makes the application programming interfaces, APIs, easily compatible, accessible, and monetizable within any blockchain. And that's why they chose Chainlink. Give me your thoughts if you're part of the Link Marines. Give me your thoughts down below. But let's keep moving. Next up, let's talk about Ethereum. Let's talk about Polygon MATIC. The Weeknd has just joined Tom Brady's NFT platform Autograph as the platform expands into music. So Tom Brady's NFT platform is adding music to its repertoire, and now The Weeknd as well as FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried are getting involved. And this was interesting to me just because of how big this platform seems to be growing. Autograph, an NFT platform co-founded by Tom Brady, launched its first collectibles back in August, focusing entirely on sports offerings to start. But the firm has wider ambitions in the entertainment space and is adding some notable members to its board to help bring those plans to life. So The Weeknd is now backing this platform, Sam Bankman-Fried is now backing this platform, and in a direct quote as to why, from The Weeknd, "As an artist, I am always compelled to push the boundaries of how to deliver art within the culture and have been intrigued with NFTs for some years. I was eager to join Autograph in launching a new vertical in the music space that explores what the metaverse could be and how this affects you if you hold Ethereum, if you hold Polygon. You'll love this. All the collectibles are minted on Polygon, a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, and sold exclusively via the DraftKings marketplace." Interesting stuff. Let's keep moving. Next up, big announcement for Injective. Today marks a watershed moment in the history of Injective as an entirely upgraded Injective Pro Relayer is launched. The release involves a diverse array of major UI and backend changes that lead to the most powerful decentralized trading experience. And why this matters is because despite how we all want a decentralized future, it will not happen unless the UI is there. If it's not a great user experience, we're not going to get the masses. And Injective has obviously realized this. All aspects of the exchange were upgraded after months of user testing and feedback. You will find a revamped user interface, an enhanced homepage, intuitive market pages, a modern portfolio design, a dynamic wallet page, and much more on Injective Pro. The ultimate goal for everyone within the Injective community is to create a more free and inclusive financial system through decentralization. The Injective Pro relayer is a major step towards achieving this goal. See you on Injective Pro. Love to see it, love to see progress. Let me know if any of you trade on Injective. I'm personally not a trader, but let me know if any of you like the revamped Pro experience. And next up, a more fun piece of news, so you're in the know on what's happening in Decentraland in the metaverse. The Penguin Fight Club getting lit at the biggest metaverse party in history. I never thought that I would meet so many cool people from all over the world, people I would never be able to meet in real life and collaborate with. It's been a fun ride, and Decentraland to the moon, let's effing go. And here is the rager that was happening recently in Decentraland. What a time to be alive. All right, that is the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow.